Hi everyone. So let's do a collective reading to try to capture the energy that's around us. So I'd like to start with an Alice card. And we have all in the golden afternoon. So this says inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. So there may be something that you are inspired to do. You may have some creative spark happening right now, or daydreaming, imagining, conceptualizing something. Then we have I am presence. And that's the number 30. And then finally, let's get an ancestor message. This feels highly spiritual. This feels like you are being spiritually called towards something. And then we have disappointed. So it may be that you have been working towards something, that you feel like you're present in something, you're following a creative spark in some way or another, but perhaps you feel like you're just not hitting your goals, or there's something there that feels stalled out, perhaps. But let's ask the tarot. This feels like a bit disenchanted, that maybe you thought something was going to happen in a certain way, or in an inspired way, or you were counting on this spiritual experience and it just hasn't happened. So we're starting with the Emperor, 10 of Wands. There is that feeling that you've taken on a lot of responsibility, or maybe that you're meant to take on more responsibility, but there's another 10, the 10 of Swords, King of Wands, underneath the High Priestess, Judgment, which I think I'll flip over, 4 of Wands, the Hierophant. Underneath everything is the Fool. So I'm seeing quite a few majors in this reading. It feels to me like this Fool is saying that you are full of potential. The Fool is always ready to embark on a brand new beginning because they have learned some spiritual lessons. The reason that the Fool only has this tiny little bag is because they carry no baggage. So it feels to me like you really have this potential to do something, and it almost feels like more than one thing that you're being called to do. You might not know that yet because the Fool was hiding underneath everything, but that's what that card is telling me, is that you have a potential for quite a few things. But yet it feels like you're not seeing that it feels to me like no matter how hard you try, you're not seeing the results, or at a minimum, you're seeing mixed results. So you're being asked to focus on the Emperor and the High Priestess. This is about discipline, but this is also about using your intuition. So, and because I'm seeing this Fool card here too, it's making me feel like you are on some kind of a pilgrimage here, that you are embarking on something. We do see creative spark, so it makes me think you're igniting something. And it feels like it's going to be something really big that you're embarking on, because we have the Emperor here. And with the High Priestess, it's really calling on your shadow side. The High Priestess uses this black column and this white column here in this card. This is your shadow side, and this is the side you present to the world. And this is about bringing those two things together. And it's about you really allowing your shadow side to come out. And it's sometimes a misconception that the shadow side of you is something that's bad or something that needs to be transformed. Our shadow side, much of the time, is just the parts of ourselves that we repress. It's the parts that we shove into the closet because we have shame around that, or someone made us feel bad about some aspect of ourselves. But this is about allowing that part of yourself out of the closet, or out from under the mask, or whatever that is for you. So the Emperor and the High Priestess in your focus position are really saying that you're about to embark on something very huge here, but it requires you tapping more into that side that perhaps you're keeping hidden. That it feels like once you bring this side of you out into the open, that you're going to feel less disappointed. You're going to feel more present. You're going to feel more spiritual. But I can see that you're struggling. You're struggling with this 10 of Wands you've taken on a lot of responsibility, but again, I feel like you're doing it in the wrong way. So if there is some project that you're trying to get off the ground, something that you're trying to launch, it feels like you're going about it perhaps in the wrong way. You might be focusing on the wrong things. You may be taking on too many burdens that end up being disappointments for you. So it feels like, again, don't allow this pillar to do the work. Allow this pillar to do the work. Whatever you're hiding, that's what I'm getting very strongly from this. 10 of Cups. Yeah, there's an abundance that is very attainable for you if you were to put this in motion, embark on this, but using the part of yourself that you normally would keep hidden. So make that make sense for you. But there is some beauty in your shadow. There is something very charming and very graceful and very kind that you're hiding away somewhere inside of you. And that's the side that I feel like if you let that part of you out, that would be the thing that would really transform this situation so that you're not feeling so disappointed about it. But I feel with the Judgment card being here that you are really struggling to make that decision. You're really struggling to allow that part of yourself to integrate with the other parts of yourself, the part that you already put out into the world. I feel like you're struggling to decide to integrate that. And I feel like once you make that decision, then it's all going to flow. You'll come into alignment. But as long as you're hiding some aspect of yourself away, then I feel like it's going to continue to feel burdensome. You're going to continue to feel disappointed, and you're still going to carry this baggage that the Fool does not carry, but this is your potential. You're not here yet. I feel like it's just about this integration of all aspects of yourself. So this message is the same, that you're being asked to just be done with that. Be done with going about this in the way that you have been going about it, that you're overlooking some very important detail about yourself, and to pay attention what's going on with this creative expression that you're involved in and what's gone wrong, and how can this part of you that you hide or hold back, how can that transform this entire project? Because I see the Four of Wands here, which is hitting milestones, which is having something to celebrate. So you're bringing in a fresh energy, putting an end to the old way of doing things. It's almost like this is the old school, the Emperor, the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Swords, but using your intuition, following your awakening is the thing that's going to hit this milestone and be the thing to celebrate so that you're less disappointed. You're moving from disappointment to an actual celebration, milestones, foundations. I can see you going through this transformation, because I see you going from creative spark to King of Wands. And the King of Wands is the most creative, besides arguably the Empress. The King of Wands is the most creative person in the deck. So I can see you doing that. You are going to make this transition, but it is a matter of you allowing this part of yourself, again, that you hide perhaps, letting that part of you out. It's going to change everything. It feels to me like this has something to do with your family, because I'm seeing the Hierophant here. So it's something about traditions, something that your maybe family has taught you, something that was just sort of ingrained in you, perhaps someone from your past, some tradition from your past, maybe a way of life, or some organization, or the way you were brought up, or the school you went to. Make that part make sense for you. But it does feel very family oriented, that you feel you have to work harder and not smarter, and that you can't put an end to that. You can't do this creative side of yourself. You can't bring that out into the forefront because of something that's ingrained in you. And I feel that's why you're struggling to release this, or to allow this side of you out of the closet. Maybe the artist side of you, you've shoved away into the closet because your parents told you that wasn't practical. Make that part make sense for you, because this is going to be different for everyone's different contexts. but it feels like that. But I also see you transforming yourself into this King of Wands energy, where it feels like you are going to be steadfast. You're going to loyally take the charge when it comes to whatever this is. And you're going to understand that all you need is this one wand that the King of Wands holds. That's the creative spark. That's the creative expression. And that holding all 10 of these is no longer part of your story or necessary anymore. That's the Seven of Wands. So this is about persistence and conviction. Again, with these 10 wands, it feels like you feel like that's the only way, is to be persistent with taking on all these burdens or all these responsibilities, or working harder and not smarter. I keep getting that. So there's some conviction there that's coming from this Hierophant, that this is the way we do things. So this is the way you're going to do it. But you're ending up disappointed because you're trying to do a creative endeavor, and creative endeavors don't require carrying all of these wands. It requires one. So that's probably why you're continuing to be disappointed in the situation. So then we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is about contemplation. It's about reevaluating things. It's about perhaps missing something that's right in front of you. And now we have these two fours coming in together, which are very balanced and very stable energies. But it does require you contemplating putting an end to the old school ways of doing things, to reevaluate how and why you're doing this project in the first place. And then we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is all about a new direction. The Eight of Cups is about walking away. And that's exactly what I'm seeing you do. I'm seeing you put down 9 of these wands, pick up the one wand that is the ignition. That's the thing that's your creative spark. That's the thing that drives you. And you're taking a new direction. You're walking away from this very old school way of thinking and being. So there you go. That is our collective reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.